What if it rained food? What if Earth was a cube? What if we had 9 lives? What if bits could fly? It's absurd. If money grew on trees, if we didn't have knees, if we walked through life slightly magnetical, it's absurd. Absurd Hypotheticals.
Hello everybody and welcome to Absurd Hypotheticals, the show where we overthink dumb questions so you don't have to. I'm your host Marcus Lehner, and I'm joined here today by Chris Yee and Ben Storms. Say hi, guys.
Hey, I'm Chris.
Hey, I'm Ben.
Hey Ben, I found out a fact like 5 minutes ago.
You found out because I told it to you.
Yeah, that was helpful.
Not because we're good friends.
No.
The week that this airs is the week of your birthday.
This is true, unfortunately.
Ben, how old are you turning? That's the first step.
I am turning 28, right? Wait, shit. Yes, I am turning 28.
I often forget how old I am.
Yeah, I just did the math this time. Yeah.
Do you have to do math every time you want to tell someone how old you are?
I mean, honestly, yes at this point.
You can math your birthday and be sure about whether you're 1 year older or 1 year younger than the math you just did?
No, but sure enough to be kind of confident for this podcast that'll be heard by people.
I do always forget how old my brothers are just because it always changes in relation to my birthday.
So part of it for me is that so my sister and I are 3 years apart, but her birthday is like a week before mine, and so I always have to be very careful around this time of year because there is this awkward week where I'm suddenly not 3 years younger than her. I'm actually 4 years younger than her, and it trips me up sometimes.
See, for you, it's only a week. For me, it's like half a year.
But I think that's actually easier because then you don't have like have that as a crutch to fall back on.
Yeah, Ben's just used to always knowing how old his sister is because apparently she goes on about it all the time, so Ben can remember.
That's also the fun fact is that I don't remember how old my sister is most of the time, so it doesn't actually help me. But I don't know.
Oh, but, all right. So we have to plan your birthday party, Ben.
Do we?
Yeah, we definitely.
Please don't make me do this.
We definitely have to do.
Oh no,
to do it.
Why do we always plan my life events?
Because you always share your life events.
Am I the only one who has life events?
Oh, I have life events. They're just not particularly interesting to talk about.
Oh.
I have birthdays. I just don't tell you about them.
That's smart. Why are you smarter than me?
All right, Ben. What is your favorite animal?
I feel like this is a trap.
I don't know if I have a favorite animal.
What is a favorite? Like, in what context?
You're like spirit animal.
What do you mean, in what context? Ben, your favorite animal? This is like a third grade question. Not even. This is a first grade question.
Let's do like immediate reaction answers. So like no thinking. Favorite animal.
Snow leopard.
Snow leopard.
Okay. Snow leopard's good. We can build a theme around snow leopard.
Can we?
Do you are they your favorite so much that you'd be opposed to people wearing snow leopard jackets?
Like they might
be a bit expensive. Yeah, they might be
also pretty illegal, I'd imagine, right? Aren't
Probably.
they like protected in some way?
Well, not in every country. So that helps us with our location. We can narrow that down a bit.
Oh no.
You're gonna base the location of his birthday party on that?
Yeah, so probably Russia, because that's probably also closer to some snow leopards. I'm not exactly sure where they live, but Russia seems like a good guess.
Yeah, I don't really know anything about snow leopards.
This was a bad idea.
So we're going to Russia, which is cool.
Is it?
We're going... Yes! Well, literally, it is.
Damn it. I knew you were going to say that as soon as I said it.
So we're going to go to Russia. We're going to have snow leopard jackets.
No, I just looked it up. Snow leopards are in South Asia.
Okay, so we're going to a South Asian country. Does China count as South Asia? Like, it's all of Asia almost.
So odds are some of it is South, right?
So we're going to a lower bit of China.
Nepal. Let's go to Nepal.
Okay, that should be safe.
Yeah, we're going to Nepal, also known as the lower bit of China. And we're going to have a snow leopard party. It feels like southern China's not even going to be that cold, but I guess snow leopards don't give a shit. Give me your favorite song, Ben.
No thinking.
Okay, well,
Sounds like you're thinking.
The first song that came to mind was September by Earth, Wind, and Fire. That's definitely not my favorite song, but apparently it's what we're going with, so...
Alright, so that helps us with the date, which is no longer...
Wait, hold on.
It's no longer his actual birthday?
I'm noticing a flaw in this plan.
We're going to do it in September, when September ends.
Wait, that's also not... Wait, hold on.
Different song.
We've gone
Shut
off
up,
the rails.
I'm running the ship.
Look at me. I'm the captain now.
It's my birthday.
Oh, no.
So October 1st, we're going to have Ben's birthday party in Nepal, which is good because I wouldn't be able to plan a birthday party in Nepal in only like real time, like a week from now.
Mm-hmm.
And so gives us some time. Also gives us some time to find the snow leopard jacket supplier and get a good deal. Maybe we can get them in bulk. How many people do you want to invite? Give me a number that's either 88 or 105.
I guess 88 then.
Yeah, we're going to need 88 snow leopard jackets, which we've got to find 88 snow leopards. And I'm not sure how endangered they are, but that might be tricky. So that'll be definitely
on the list
what I'll
of
be doing.
endangered like amount, they're vulnerable, quote unquote.
Yeah, so that's going to be what I'm going to be doing until the end of September. So, Chris, I'm going to need you to take over the food preparations. If you could just give us our menu for the evening.
What is Nepal known for? I don't know, actually.
Well, we don't care about Nepal. We care about Ben. What's
Okay,
Ben
so
known
we're going to
for?
ship all the food to Nepal?
Interesting. That's
Okay,
It's a bold strategy.
What cuisine do you like?
Nepalese, actually.
Nepalese.
Yes.
How convenient. And how inconvenient for me, because I know nothing about Nepalese food.
Yeah, see, this played right into my plan, because I'm just making you guys look shit up. It's great.
Wait, is you think Nepalese is like Appleese? So just like apple stuff? So can we make
Or like
them like...
Snapple? We'll have Snapple.
Yeah, Snapple and then...
Snapples and apples.
Snapples and apples.
I feel like this is not traditional.
It's okay. We'll put some of the vodka that we got from Russia in there because I definitely would have spent some time in Russia until I realized my mistake.
Here, we'll bob for apples in Snapple.
Oh, dang, that's so good.
Yeah.
Can we have Bob for apples? So can we invite like half the people named Bob?
Do you know that? Do you know 44 people named Bob?
I do not know
I feel
44
like you can find them
Bobs.
fairly easily though. Like
Yeah, it's a
just
pretty
Google
common
Bob's
name.
for hire and you can just find some Bobs.
Is that a bobsforhire.com?
This is going to be an amazing Craigslist ad.
No.
Need 44 guys named Bob that are okay with wearing snow leopard jackets and bobbing for apples to meet us at Nepal on October 1st for a birthday party.
I like that you're not even using the day from the song September by Earth, Wind, and Fire.
You just picked a completely different song.
You clearly do not remember the 21st of September.
Ben, why can't you give me my extra week to find snow leopards?
Okay, anyway, we do a podcast here, as far as I know.
Yeah, which will be true even after Ben is 28. And the other thing that's happening this week is Mother's Day. So we decided
Sort of this week. It's like Sunday, which is kind of, I guess, technically next week, but in our podcast time, it's this week.
Yeah, it's close enough. We're going to count it.
So for Mother's Day, we decided that we are going to celebrate and ridicule the best and worst moms of the animal kingdom. So we have two brackets set up. We each picked a couple of animals for them. And we have an 8 animal bracket lined up for nature's best moms, which is where we're going to start today. And the first pairing for the nature's best moms that we're going to argue about which one's better is the koala versus the polar bear. So I actually really like koala. Koala, I think, is a strong contender. So koala's first thing that got going for them is that they have a pouch. So I feel like a pouch is already a step up because it's like I'm going to carry my little baby with me all the time.
I don't think I even knew they had pouches. I guess
Yeah,
they
I
have
didn't
pouches.
either.
They're
Koalas-
marsupials.
Let me put it this way. Like, as great as the koala moms are, as I'm about to explain, maybe koalas should just go extinct. They evolved dumbly. Anyhow, koala's pouch, what's interesting about the koala's pouch, and which is really the first step into being a great mom, is that the koala pouch is actually upside down, so it opens at the bottom instead of at the top.
That sounds dumb.
But what it does is it forces the mother koala has to use a quote-unquote special sphincter muscle along the outer edge of the pouch opening to keep it closed so her baby doesn't fall out while she's climbing up in trees. So basically the entire time, 22 weeks, by the way, that this baby is in the pouch, the mother has to like hold that pouch closed.
Do her kegels.
Yeah, she has to do her kegels. And I guess she gets some slight, well, not really relief, because the baby has to keep himself in there too. So he helps by gripping the fur inside the pouch to hang on as tightly as needed, which just sounds super comfortable. And not just his hands are gripping it, he'll also make his way over to one of her two teats on the inside of the pouch, which will swell up immediately as the mouth closes on it. And then that mouth connection helps it hang on with its mouth while it's already being held up in the sphincter pouch. And just imagine doing this for 22 weeks.
So just like putting up with this.
Yeah, they're just putting up with this all the time. Now, the next bit, this is more just interesting. I'm not sure how much it adds to the koala being a good mom. It might actually take away from it. But the reason that the pouch is the other way is that koalas eat eucalyptus leaves, which are poisonous, very poisonous. So they have to have special enzymes in order to digest it without dying. They are not born with these enzymes. So the baby has to acquire them somehow. And to do that, at around that 22-week mark, they begin to feed on a substance called pap, which kind of sounds like poop. And it kind of is like poop. So basically what it is the koala mother has a special pouch where it takes its feces and converts it into slightly different feces that is okay for the kid to eat, so that it can get the
enzyme.
Yeah, the bacteria and enzymes and immunities that it needs to be able to eat the leaves by itself. So it kind of just like stays in the pouch and then kind of just leans back and gets a good old butt full of pap.
Why don't they just not eat the eucalyptus?
Yeah, this feels like a lot of, like, evolutionarily, I don't understand how this works. That an animal that only eats one thing can't actually eat this thing, technically.
And also the one thing it picked to eat is horribly poisonous. So what the fuck?
Yeah.
Koalas are dumb, is what I've learned.
Yeah, so like I said, after reading all this, it's just like, do they even need to be part of the animal kingdom? I also like that even after the koala leaves the pouch for like 6 weeks, it'll come back to the pouch just to like sleep at night. Like it's on its own, but then like comes back into the pouch. So it clings on for just that little bit longer.
Okay. Well,
that's going up. Yeah, that's what I got for the koala. It is going up against your polar bear, Chris.
Yes, so the polar bear, obviously, the polar bear has to raise its cubs in like really harsh conditions. But I looked more at the effort that the mom puts in before it even gives birth. So before birth, she usually has to gain 400 pounds, just like eat a ton. And then she digs an underground den, and she stays in that underground den. Or she usually goes in the underground den like somewhere between November and February, and she gives birth there. And then for 8 months, she stays there with her cubs and feeds the cubs. And herself,
that's a long time.
Yeah, for 8 months, she feeds the cubs, and she doesn't eat anything herself. She fasts for 8 months. And then basically just in March or like spring, I guess it's still cold, but they leave the den, and then she's allowed to eat. And that's basically the main thing. So fasting for 8 months. You had more like gross stuff and like putting up with stuff.
I think that the just constantly holding up this baby in the pouch while it's like just literally hanging on also by your teats is a pretty legit thing to put up with.
And how long did you say that goes on for, Marcus?
22 weeks.
22 weeks. That's pretty long.
Versus 8 months though.
Well, here's my counterpoint. Bears. Bears hibernate anyway.
Yeah, but she's not hibernating. She's feeding her cubs.
Yeah, but bears are kind of built to just not eat for months and months. I mean, I guess koalas... Well, no, koalas aren't built to do that, but koalas are built to hold up things. But I feel like if you're built not to eat for 8 months, it's not that bad.
I mean, we're able to make that evolutionary point about most of these, to be fair.
Right.
So, this one is tough. This one is tough.
I'm leaning towards koala.
I am inclined to go towards koala as well.
I don't feel strongly about polar bears necessarily, so I'll go with koala.
Yeah.
All right, koala moves on in the bracket.
Koala moves on.
Next pairing is the orangutan versus the house sparrow. Orangutan moms are pretty legit. I'm going to start with that. First off, they're always single moms, so the dad ditches. So it's just the mom. And the baby chimp is completely dependent on the mother for both transportation and food for 2 whole years. So the baby does not fend for itself at all. Doesn't do anything except cling to its mom and let her feed it for 2 years. And even after that, the baby will still literally stay on the mother for up to 5 whole years and will just like not get off the mother.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
It's a really long time. And you know what they do for even longer than that? They'll breastfeed for longer than that. They'll breastfeed for up to 8 years, this mother orangutan. Which is gotta just be like... I mean, I didn't check if it was the highest of all the animals, but I can't imagine anything does it for more than 8 years.
It's definitely
or
up
even
there.
Close to that.
It's definitely up there.
You should Google that, and it'll be a really weird Google search for your history.
Yeah, I mean, I don't need more weird Google searches in my history. I got enough weird Google search results looking up, like, freaking koala pap.
Which animal breastfeeds the longest? I need to know this.
What a particular fetish. Huh.
Actually, I think the weirdest Google search that I did while doing this was one article mentioned that the koala pouch was upside down, but no one gave me a straight answer if it was actually upside down. And so I was like, and no pictures really showed it well. So I was like Googling koala pouch anatomy, koala pouch upside down ?
On a similar note, sort of bit of a spoiler for later, but I had spent a while Googling about Tasmanian devil teats, so I feel your pain.
So anyhow, super long dependency. The mom teaches the kid all the things that they need to learn growing up. And one additional fact that they do is that a mother orangutan will build a new nest in like a new tree almost every day for them to sleep in.
Wow.
Which is like another Herculean effort by the mother.
Sounds like a lot of effort, but also sounds like just another thing that they don't have to do, that they could easily do something better and they just don't for some reason.
It's really just
That's the sign
planning.
of a good mom, is that they don't have to, but they do because they love their kid.
But good moms are also very good long-term planners, and this seems like poor long-term planning.
What do you mean it's poor long-term planning? You're teaching the kid all the things it needs to do to survive.
I guess.
I don't know. I have to hear the house sparrow.
All right. So the house sparrow. We've talked a lot about just sort of amped up basic mothering, tasks that are admittedly beyond the call of normal. They take something that mothers do and amps up to the top. But what about a mother that will literally murder for the sake of her children? So house sparrows, the males are very much not monogamous. They sleep around a lot. And the males will help raise chicks, but they will only really help raise one set of chicks. So the female watches the male and sees which other eggs it fertilizes. And then when that mother is away from her nest, they'll sneak in and kill either all the chicks if they have hatched or destroy the eggs if they haven't yet. So the male is forced to only have her eggs left to help raise.
Whoa. That's extreme.
Now this bird was actually, a little behind the scenes thing. We basically looked at a bunch of lists of good and bad animal moms for this online. The sparrow wound up on a lot of bad mother lists, which feels, I understand the viewpoint there.
Killing children.
Murder bad. Okay.
But at the same time, the lengths that the house sparrow goes to secure the future of its young seem like pretty, you need to have a bit of the ends justify the means mindset on it, but
she's doing it for her kid.
She's doing it for her kids. Yeah. She's making a terrible, terrible decision for her young.
Okay. These are very different types.
These are very different types of animals. That is true.
So the house sparrow is trying as hard as it can not to be a single mom.
Mm-hmm.
The orangutan just is a single mom and just does it. She just commits. She just fucking takes it and she's like, I'm going to do this and this is going to be my life. Plus, what kind of example is that mother setting for her kids? Murder everyone.
Apparently setting up her kid to be a good mother.
Apparently. The evolution would say that. So I would still go house sparrow personally.
It's probably going to come up to me, right?
Yep, that's kind of how it's going to go in this one.
I don't know. They're so different.
5 years. That's like longer than house sparrows live at all. 8 years of breastfeeding. Imagine Imagine,
but those are
Chris,
still-
a baby orangutan
Those are all
sucking on your nipples for 8 years.
those are all still
Imagine
just
it.
normal mom things. They're
That's
just
my
for a long
point.
time.
See? They're amped up normal mom activities.
Yeah. Like she doesn't
So is yours, Ben.
Wait, hold on.
I think I'm gonna go with House Sparrow.
House Sparrow?
All right, the next bracket is the emperor penguin versus the red-knobbed hornbill.
Yeah, so the emperor penguin, another Arctic creature. So the emperor penguin lays its eggs, and the father actually protects the egg for like when it's first. What do you call it when it lays? I guess when it just lays the egg. I was gonna say hatch, but it doesn't hatch yet. And the mom actually like leaves, and I know that doesn't sound very motherly, but what the mother is doing is it's going on a 50-mile trek, or up to 50 miles, to the ocean. And when it gets to the ocean, it tries to catch as many fish as possible, and it like swallows as many fish as it can. And then once it's done with that, it makes the whole trek back another 50 miles, and it regurgitates all the fish so the baby can eat when it's hatched.
Okay, that's actually pretty impressive.
It is pretty cool. It's a working mom.
Yeah.
She's bringing home the bacon.
That's like the mom who has like 3 jobs, except all 3 of the jobs are walk across the frozen tundra and eat fish.
But it doesn't even like, I don't know how it like conserves the fish without digesting it.
Does it got an extra tummy? Do penguins have an extra tummy?
I didn't go that deep into it. I mean, I guess the idea is that it's partially digested, so it's easier for the baby to digest.
Yeah. So it's like they get it. Pretty legit. Can the flighted bird of the hornbill beat it, Ben?
Yes. So the red-knobbed hornbill is a bird. Important thing to point out because no one has ever heard of this bird before. It's also a very weird-looking bird, by the way. It's like vaguely toucan-esque, except also has like a weird red growth on its head. I don't know. Anyway, that's the red knob.
Like a chicken thing, like a rooster thing.
But less like the rooster one kind of looks like a floppy hand, you know. The red knob of the red-knobbed hornbill kind of looks like an exposed brain. It's not.
Okay.
I want to make that abundantly clear.
Have you seen the Santa Clarita Diet, the show about the southern mom who becomes
I
a
have
zombie?
not actually.
Yes, I have.
Damn it! I need Ben to have seen it because I want to ask if the red thing looks exactly like the red ball that pops out of the zombies in that show.
I cannot tell you. So, anyway, this is, I'm not going to lie, kind of similar to the polar bear situation. A little bit. But I think sort of the key difference is that, in order... So the hornbill lays her eggs and then wants to protect them from predators. So she and her mate find a tree hollow. It's a nice size. Go into it, lay the eggs there. And then she seals herself in with a wall of her own feces.
Huh.
Oh, that's not fun.
And then stays there inside for the entire 2-month incubation period. The mate brings food back and passes it through a small slit in the wall, and she passes all of the other waste out to keep the inside clean for the babies.
Is the poop wall for defensive purposes or for
Yes.
cleanliness purposes?
Defensive.
Okay.
No, the poop wall is not for cleanliness
Well,
purposes.
you said she keeps it clean inside. That's what you said.
Well, but she puts poop through the poop wall.
Yeah, pretty much. There's probably some reinforcement as well, I would imagine, but to keep it from overflowing,
Some rebar.
excess waste.
High fiber diet.
Mm-hmm. You know it. So yeah, so that's a mother that literally walls herself in with her own poop and then just sits there for 2 months to protect her eggs.
I don't know. I think the emperor penguin, she puts a lot more effort into it.
Yeah, the fact that
She's not just sitting around.
Yeah, so the big knock against the red-knobbed hornbill that we are going to have to overcome here is that it is the male that is going and actually getting the food and bringing it back, which is kind of a knock.
It's kind of the opposite of the emperor penguin.
Yeah, exactly. And I think I actually might agree with you on this one, that as disgusting and inspiring simultaneously the poop wall is, I think it is actually the emperor penguin.
I would have voted for the hornbill. I could see going out and trekking a long distance to get stuff for a kid, but I'd have to really love a kid to to seal myself up in a poop hole.
What about vomiting for its benefit? Large amounts of fish.
Take it or leave it.
I am fine going emperor penguin.
All right, penguin advances.
Pengu.
All right, next up which might be the greatest showdown in the history of ever, is chickens versus octopi.
Didn't think I'd ever see that matchup.
Yeah, an unlikely matchup for sure. So I had a different animal here. It was like some dumb spider or something. Until I ran across like a random thing about what we could learn from mothering from chickens. And one sentence stood out to me. New chicks instinctively will peck at anything that moves or looks shiny. Unfortunately for the mom, that often means the chicks are pecking at her eyeballs. Which is a lot to put up with from a mother.
That is pretty good.
Do chickens have, like, eyelids? Can they blink?
The chickens have eyes. Sorry, I tried to say
God.
that. Anyway.
They have eyes. I'm not sure about eyelids. I think they have eyelids.
I like that you actually confirm that they have eyes.
I like that now I'm sitting here and trying to like visualize what a chicken looks like, unsuccessfully.
Anyhow, that's not the only thing that chickens have going for them. They're actually just generally very maternal. The term mother hen comes from chickens being like very supportive of their young. They're really, though they're not so picky. Like they'll support just about anything. Like you could add new chickens to their family and they'll just like start taking care of them. I was reading an article about this woman who had a chicken and she just like gave it a duck egg and it hatched and the chicken's like, I'm taking care of this duck now. I don't give a fuck. I'm the best mom. And then I'm not sure if it's quite motherhood because it's kind of the process of making the baby. But of course, like the chickens need to lay the eggs and make the eggshells, which requires a lot of calcium. And if they can't do that, instead of stopping making eggs, instead they'll just start dissolving their own bones.
Huh.
Which is a pretty badass mother move right there.
That's pretty good.
That is pretty good. Doesn't really seem like it's up to the chicken, though.
Well, I don't know. I like to think it's a moral choice. It evolved into an amazing mother that would dissolve its own bones to have kids.
That is pretty impressive.
Give me the octopus, Ben.
So the octopus is actually, once again, kind of similar to the polar bear. Similar idea. Or I suppose also the red-knobbed hornbill, but with less poop. The thing about the octopus, though, is that the octopus mother literally puts her entire life into caring for her eggs. They pretty much always die shortly after their eggs hatch because they basically lay their eggs and then spend all their time and energy just protecting and, like, cleaning them, and they have to, like, waft, like, fresh water over them to keep them, like, properly aerated and stuff. And, like, they actually will, even if things that they would normally eat go by them, they just won't eat them. They just keep focusing on the eggs.
Oh, wow.
And they just literally do that until they hatch and then pretty much just die immediately afterwards. Every time. And this can go on. There was one observed one where there was a deep sea octopus that they observed doing this for 53 months.
What the fuck? All right, well, chickens are out.
Yeah, it's not even
Ben,
close.
if you have any other facts, save them for the next round.
I don't have too much. That was the main thing is just like that, kind of dies.
This might be a fairly easy to resolve bracket after all. God, octopi are cool.
Octopi, still pretty cool.
So now we're on to the semifinals. Bouncing back to the other side of the bracket. We have our two previous winners, the koala versus the house sparrow. All right, so koala, just a reminder, koala has upside down sphincter pouch, has mouth hanging teat baby, and
the
has
enzyme poop thing.
Yeah, and it has poop problems.
Mouth hanging teat baby is a great name for a punk band, by the way. Just saying.
All right, and the house sparrow was the one that
kills other
babies.
babies. Yeah. Can't just say murders babies because that's a bad mom.
The
Kills
other is the main
others babies.
word.
Important word there.
I'm still not sold on the house sparrow. I'm just not sold on it.
It's just so different from everything else, and I don't know how to quantify it.
I'm trying to imagine the human equivalent of these things. If I saw a person do these things, what I would think of them.
So basically what you're seeing here is you have a woman who finds out that her husband has actually been leading a quintuple life and actually has impregnated 4 other women. So she hunts them all down and kills them.
And the koala is like...
The koala is like a mother who literally won't put down her baby and also the baby is just like permanently attached to her chest and just hanging there awkwardly. And then I don't know how to turn the poop thing into a thing for humans that makes it a good mom, but it's got to be something.
I think I'm gonna go with Koala. The murdering thing. I was with the murdering thing for the first round, but
Yeah.
it's kind of starting to creep me out now.
No, both when put in human terms are pretty creepy, but we're gonna go with the slightly less creepy one, I think.
Yay, Koala, making it to the finals. All right. I feel like this other side of the bracket is much stronger.
Yeah, I agree with that, actually.
Yeah, so we have Emperor Penguin and Octopus.
Emperor Penguin doing the
50-mile trek to get fish, swallowing the fish and regurgitating the fish.
That's gonna be an uncomfortable walk. Like if
Yeah,
you're like
the
that
walk
full.
back is
The distance of the walk is very impressive.
yeah. Especially because penguins, they don't like run, they waddle.
Right, yeah, we don't think of penguins as being a particularly, like, deft...
Agile creature.
Yeah.
Also,
and
like-
plus, no one's even sure if they have knees or not.
Also, like, the penguin belly slide feels like it'll be particularly uncomfortable when full of partially digested fish.
Oh my god.
And, like, accident prone. I don't know.
They're just like, yeah, they hit like a bump. It's like you just see like the penguin lift up for like half a second, and then just like.
It all comes out and
Yeah.
I have to make the trek
See,
back
I
again.
think it's actually funnier if just like 3 pop out and it's to kind of like quickly like gobble them back up.
They're like still alive and they're like, oh, we're free. No.
This is actually disgusting. Anyway, and there's the octopus, which dies. It sounds better in context.
53 months though. Holy shit.
The octopus. Okay, let me put it this
It's a
way.
long time and they give their life.
Let's put it this way. The octopus is basically a Pixar before movie short.
Oh my god! If they made a Pixar movie, if they made a Pixar short about Octomom, I would lose it. That would be the end of me.
Like that's a pretty effective way to frame it, I think.
It would make you cry.
If you just have like continuing scenes of like the octopus, like
But they have, I mean, Disney has made penguin movies.
that is. Wait, have they?
With March of the Penguins is Disney, right?
Is it Disney?
I think so.
Anywho,
Anyway, I won't Google it.
I'm voting for Octopus.
Still octopus.
Yeah, it's tough to beat the octopus.
Octopus is pretty intense.
The octopus is the horse of this mom bracket.
That is.
That has no context for anyone who hasn't happened to listen to our previous. What bracket?
That was
Football bracket?
football mascots. Yeah,
That's the only other bracket we did.
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Just
So
out of context, the octopus is the horse of this mom bracket is up there in terms of.
I mean, we've said a lot of weird phrases this episode.
That's also a good point.
all right, that brings us to our Koala Octopus final showdown.
I don't think it's even close.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
not
no,
really
it's
close. I
not.
don't think we need to waste anyone's time going through it. It's the fucking octopus.
It's the octopus.
Congratulations, Octopus moms. You won't be around to receive this award because you'll be dead.
Yeah, blasting My Chemical Romance all the way.
All the way until September ends.
That's not. You know what? I'm just gonna let it go.
Oh, I still have no idea who wrote that song.
Oh my god! Wait, which the song I was actually talking about, or the song you keep referencing?
Probably neither.
Any of them.
Okay. Anyway,
All right, so we have nature's best mom is the octopus. So all you moms out there, try to be more like the octopus.
You're telling them to die?
All right, bad example. Try to be like the octopus without being the octopus.
right.
I think it's a yoga pose. Try to do a good yoga pose. That's octopus
Develop
like.
the mindset of the octopus without the outcome of the octopus.
All right. Worst mom nature bracket. First round, burying beetles versus is it cuckoo?
I think it's
Cuckoo?
pronounced cuckoo.
The cuckoo?
Like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest?
Yes,
Got
that's
it.
the one.
Don't say cuckoo.
Cuckoo?
It's spelled cuckoo, which is annoying.
Yeah, cuck is a really unfortunate way to start a word.
It's not great.
Anywho, the burying beetles. These ones, what I like about the burying beetles is they have an interesting approach to child rearing, where basically if a baby beetle is pestering their mother too much for food or attention or whatever, it just eats them. It just decides it is not strong enough to make it to adulthood and just fucking eats it.
I'm hungry.
Me too.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's honestly that's all I got on it.
I guess you can't really go anywhere after they've eaten it, so...
Yeah, there was no other interesting facts about the beetle. I just found it was hilarious that what they used to decide whether they're going to eat their shitty kids or not was just them being annoying. It's not a super high threshold for murdering your kids.
So the cuckoo, actually, instead of raising its baby itself, it tricks other birds into raising it for her. So it'll lay its eggs in other bird nests, and then just leave.
That seems irresponsible.
Yeah, and then the bird will actually hatch before the other birds from that nest. It hatches early, apparently. And it grows faster, and actually it'll like push the other babies out of the nest and end up killing them.
Yeah, it's not ideal.
That's not good.
So it ruins that one family, and she kind of just leaves her baby.
Well, ruining the other family, Ben has already established as a positive with the house sparrow.
I mean,
I guess so.
Well, fair, yeah.
But the fact that you literally just leave your kid in another species nest and just be like, you're fine.
And the thing is, I think the other species does raise the kid.
Yeah, birds are kind of dumb sometimes.
I can't imagine that's a 100% success rate, though.
Yeah, probably not. I mean, if all the other kids die, then you only have one kid to focus on.
True.
So maybe this other bird is the best mom.
Yeah, let's give some props to all the
shitty.
adoptive moms
that's
out there.
Just bad mom behavior. It's like you're giving them, I guess, a slight chance, but you just don't give a fuck.
No, it is pretty
It's
bad.
just so dismissive.
Yeah.
It is pretty bad.
So how do you know how often the beetles eat their babies?
No, I don't have a figure on how many beetles get at. But beetles
You
make
said
a lot
it's
of
like
babies.
just when they're weak, right?
Yeah, beetles make a lot of babies, and I guess they treat the ones that aren't shitty and annoying better.
I mean,
Okay.
that is playing
I'm
favorites, which is pretty bad mom behavior. And it's doing that by eating the ones that aren't the favorites, which is probably worse.
So it's extreme favorites versus, I guess, extreme
absenteeism.
abandonment.
Yeah.
Yeah, absenteeism.
I go with the cuckoo.
I might go with the cuckoo too.
Yeah,
at
I'm
least-
leaning cuckoo.
At least with favoritism, there are still favorites that are being
There are still kids that live.
right.
Yeah,
and
like it's still
thrive.
mothering that. It's still acting like a mother until it just has had enough. So it is there. It's there. It's just not. You just gotta stay on our good side.
So
Yeah.
burying beetles it is.
What?
No, cuckoo.
I'm
Cuckoo.
dumb. Cuckoo it is. I clicked on the wrong thing.
We're not doing the best mom. We're doing the worst mom now.
I forgot that we changed. All right. Cuckoo it is. We can fix that in post. All right.
Next up, harp seal versus skinks.
I don't even know what a skink is.
It's a lizard.
Oh, okay.
So the harp seal's kind of an interesting one because it's kind of does a switcheroo on its kid. So for the first 2 to 3 weeks, the harp seal mother is great and feeds her baby and is very attentive until the baby gets to about 80 pounds, which is pretty a lot for a 2 to 3 week old animal. But after this 2 to 3 week feeding period, the mom just stops. She just stops feeding her kid abruptly with no warning. And just oh, okay. The kid will just figure it out from here, I guess. No, not really. So the pup, after the mother cuts it off, can starve for up to 6 months before it gets its shit together and decides to start hunting for itself. And as you imagine, a harp seal lives kind of in Arctic climates, so the survival rate isn't the super highest in just abandoning your kid and being yeah, they'll figure it out.
Right.
So what does the mother do? It just goes and lives its life somewhere else?
I'm not sure if it straight up abandons the kid, but it 100% does not no longer feeds or hunts for them. And it's the switcheroo that gets me. It's the I'm gonna raise you up and nurse you, and then just you know what? Oh, it's Thursday. Bye.
It's kind of
you're done.
Tricking it, setting up for failure. You spoil your kid for a year, and then you just don't do anything.
Yeah, and it's not like the kid figures it out 6 fucking months. But that's the key on the harp seal. Other than that, it's just they're just seals. So explain to me exactly what kind of lizard a skink is, Ben.
So a skink is a lizard. It's a smallish lizard. Think
Hand size?
I believe so. I'm double checking that now.
Wait, whose hands?
That's a good question too. Skinks. How big are actually skinks? They are, yeah, little Looks like the medium-sized ones they say are like 4.7 inches on average. So pretty small. And so we're specifically talking about long-tailed skinks here. Don't ask me the difference. I'm assuming it's that they have longer tails. That's a fair guess. So sort of starting out like this is going to sound like a good thing at first. So unlike a lot of lizards, the mother actually does stay near the eggs after they're laid. For the most part, lizards will kind of just like lay their eggs and sort of hide them a little bit and then just bail. So the skink mother actually does hang around and watch for predators. Unfortunately, the reason that she does this is that if there are predators and she thinks the eggs probably won't get a chance to hatch, she just eats them and then bails.
No! Taking away their chance at life.
Yeah, so it's basically like nah, this isn't gonna work out that well. I may as well just have a snack.
That's very utilitarian, like, energy conservation.
Right, so, like, evolutionarily, the idea is that, yeah, they regain the energy and then can have a successful birth later, but it's pretty cold. Well, okay, I didn't mean for this to be a joke, but it's pretty cold-blooded in the moment.
You just gotta own it, Ben.
I didn't want to own that one, I'm not gonna lie.
He's ashamed.
Even for me.
So this is two separate betrayals.
Yeah.
One is always fatal, but those are like pre-birth. So the harp seal, that harp seal kid feels it.
Yeah, I feel like the harp seal one is worse because it does get that mothering to begin with, and then it's just
a taste
ripped
of
away.
Yeah, skinks were born in the darkness. They were.
Yeah, but also
Bane.
the seal doesn't get eaten. It's that is kind of the one part I come back to, but I think it is still seal.
They will probably suffer.
Yes.
More.
Yeah, I would agree. So I
go harp seal.
I would go seal.
I like how we picked the two non-cannibalistic moms as not the worst.
At some point we'll get one. There has to be another one, right? I guess we'll find out.
Oh, I hope it's not. I hope it's not the next one.
Oh no.
Chris, is it panda bears or Ben? Is it Tasmanian devils?
So panda bear does not eat its babies.
Oh, thank the fucking Lord.
The thing about panda bears is that they often have twins. It's like very common that they'll have twins, but they're physically unable to produce enough milk to support both of them. So they end up just picking one of them and focusing on that one, and they just ignore the other one. So that's basically it.
That's not great. I'm gonna one up you though.
Okay.
I'm really glad these wound up getting matched against each other in this round. So the Tasmanian devil, which for those unfamiliar with it, aside from Taz the Tasmanian devil, looks kind of like it's like a kind of like a weird dog looking thing.
Is it hand-sized?
No, it's bigger.
2 hand-sized?
Like small to medium size.
Like a dog size?
It's like dog size, but it looks kind of more like a weird big dog rat thing. They're kind of strange. Also marsupials making another appearance here. God, these are weird looking things. Now I'm looking at them again. I'm not happy about this. But basically, the litter of a Tasmanian devil can be up to 50 pups. And basically they move into the pouch after they're born.
And all live wonderful, happy lives after that?
Well, so here's the thing. There's up to 50 of them, but the mother Tasmanian devil only has 4 teats. And once a Tasmanian devil pup latches onto one of the teats, it expands and basically locks into the pup, and the pup remains on there and pretty much can't be taken off of it for the next 100 days.
What?
So only the first
weird.
4 that get onto a teat will live. The rest will certainly die.
Okay, never mind. Panda bear isn't that bad.
Well, this ain't so much bad mothership. Like, you can't blame the mother for having not enough teats.
I mean, it's the same situation, though, with the panda bears, just on a smaller scale.
I guess the argument you can make for the panda bear is that it is a choice which one lives and which one dies.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. The Tasmanian devil, they just let it happen, right? And then
They're just doing the sperm getting to the egg first thing, but just like a few steps too late.
Right. The panda bear actually picks... I think the panda bear picks the stronger one to take care of.
I will say that when you phrase it as they just let it happen, it sounds a lot worse, actually. It actually sounds pretty bad.
It's also 8% survival versus 50% survival.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have two competing mental images. One of just like a panda bear mom just like looking at her child while her other cub like walks over to her and she like kind of like pulls it into a hug and it starts like nursing. and then like the other child is just like left out in the cold. And the Tasmanian devil mental image is just like a fucking flirt, like 4 Tasmanian devils attached to her, and like a 5th one walks by and she just looks at it and just like shrugs, like, I don't know.
Just dismissive. I mean, the panda bear cub, that gets ignored, it's by itself. Like, the Tasmanian devils, they have like a bunch of other buddies that got abandoned with them.
I think the biggest argument for the panda bear is that it's a conscious choice.
Yeah.
And it's a conscious choice, yeah.
Conscious choice.
None of these mothers have choices to it. It's kind of just like a shitty cycle for the kids. Like, I feel like just the numbers are bad and not the mothers so much. Because they're both doing as much as they can. The panda bear mother and the Tasmanian devil mother are doing the best they can. It's not like the Tasmanian devil mother's like, oh, I got 4 titties, but this 4th titty's mine.
Right.
I guess I'm going to vote for a Tasmanian devil just because of the bigger numbers.
Plot twist. I'm going to vote for panda bear because they're the choice.
Whoa.
All right, Marcus.
I'm going to go panda bear. Panda bear is a stronger mental image for
There
me.
we go.
Okay. Just because they're cute.
Yeah, and it's also just very, like, off-brand for the panda, so I think it just hurts more. The Tasmanian devil kind of looks like an asshole to begin with, so it's less surprising.
All right. Next up, the last one in the first round is the black eagle versus the black bear. Totally did that on purpose.
Of course.
Black eagles are what you might call, or what they call obligate canists, which is in the nest, the older sibling normally kills the younger one. And they actually always have, they lay 2 eggs. Generally one hatches a couple days before the other. And then when they're both, hatched and born, the older sibling will kill the younger one in more than 90% of observed nests. So the thing is, where does the mother come in? The mother just watches this happen and is like, all right, fine. Don't give a shit. So basically, the thing about the black eagle is that it just lets her kids murder each other.
That's not great.
It's not great.
Yeah, that's not great. It's like
kind
the
of on the
equivalent.
lanes. It's kind of it's like in the same lane as the panda bear. But if we'll save that discussion in case black.
I was going to say
is
it's the equivalent of like a mom letting its kids fight in the back seat of a car.
Actually, that is literally what happened with the Tasmanian devil, to be fair. Except that's the backseat of her.
Oh yeah, they're fighting for the yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's put it this way. But it's not entirely clear that it's for like survival necessarily. Like a black eagle could probably take care of 2 chicks theoretically. It's not like they can't. They just choose not to.
Okay. So the black bear is actually basically the opposite of the panda bear, where the panda bear has 2 kids and it chooses one. The black bear prefers to have multiple cubs, and it'll usually have like 2 to 3 cubs, and it'll raise them like a normal parent. But if it only has 1 cub, it just decides that it's not worth the effort, and it just leaves.
Oh no!
That's pretty bad.
Ouch.
I think that's worse.
That is worse.
Like to decide, it's the fact that it's just like, if it's just one of you, I'm not going to bother. That decision is brutal.
Yeah, it means that it's capable of raising it, but it just doesn't want to.
Right, yeah, exactly. I got to go black bear here.
Would you guys be opposed to me adding one extra contender in that I forgot to add in that I think might be at least an interesting discussion?
Wild card.
Wild card? Sure.
Wild card. Ba-doo-doo-doo-doo. They happen to have a weird tied record, and now they're in the bracket.
Because that's how sports works.
What about sea turtle moms? So sea turtle moms, they take their egg, they live in the ocean, and then they come out of their natural habitat onto this beach to bury their egg in the sand. But like, I guess the idea is that it's gonna be safer for the kid, but at the same time, they literally plant them on like the murderiest thing in the animal kingdom. Like, this is sort of survival rate for baby turtles is like fucking zilch, and you basically put this thing that's supposed to live in the water onto the sand, and the first thing that happens when it is born is that it just gets like murdered by either like
birds
and fish and like land predators, and like there's like 5 or 6 different things that all come in specifically to kill the baby turtles, and the mothers are still putting them there.
Who are they up against in this situation? Are they against the black bear and black eagle?
I think they're against the black bear right now, yeah.
Okay.
I think I would still go with the black bear.
Yeah, I still think the black bear is still worse.
All right, okay, that's fine. I felt like I just wanted to bring that one in there for the discussion. Yeah. There's so many bad moms.
Yeah.
There are a lot of bad moms.
Being an animal sucks.
Yeah, this is true.
Like, even being any of the animals in the good moms bracket was fucking terrible. Like, orangutan's probably the best one, but like all the other ones have shitty lives.
Yeah.
Well, considering one of the good moms was a murderer.
Right.
All right, we're putting black bears up up in the bracket.
Oh, well, all three of mine made it through. Nice.
Cool. All right, going back to the other side of the bracket into the semifinals, we have the cuckoo versus the harp seal. The cuckoo is the major abandoner, where they leave their eggs in the nests of other birds.
They trick another bird to raise its kid, and then that kid ends up killing the other kids by growing faster.
And then the harp seal, who gives the loving mother attention and then cruelly takes it away.
So the question is it better to abandon your children immediately or after a brief period of time? That's what this comes down to.
Also, I'm going to make the point that the cuckoo abandons them in a place where they might get taken care of. The harp seal abandons them in the fucking Arctic.
That's a good point. That's actually a strong argument in favor of the harp seal.
Yeah, the cuckoo probably will live.
Yeah.
The baby.
It is abandoned somewhere. That's basically the cuckoo is like leaving the baby on the, in a basket on the front step of an orphanage or whatever. And the harp seal was just leaving the baby in a dumpster.
In a desert with 5 sandwiches that they've already eaten.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I'm going to go with harp seal.
Harp seal, it is. All right, and now I have to make an unbearable choice.
I can barely contain my excitement for the bear showdown. Panda bear versus black bear.
So, yeah, the panda bear
kills the twin. The black bear kills the single child.
Right. I think it comes down to the black bear is capable of raising the kid. It just doesn't want to.
Yeah, I would say black bear for that reason.
Where the panda bear doesn't have a choice.
Right. Well, I mean, it might be able to pull off two. They're both crimes of laziness. I think the black bear is just lazier, though.
No, the black bear is a crime of ambition. Because the black bear is like,
I can do better.
I'm not gonna spend 2 or 3 years raising one stupid bear. I'm gonna do 5. I'm gonna have 5 cubs.
Right. I'm gonna go black bear.
I'm gonna go black bear.
Yeah, black bear.
Black bear.
All right. So who is the worst mom? The harp seal.
Oh, this is. Last time we had decided at the finals.
Yeah. But
the final bracket, harp seal versus black bear.
Yeah, this is a tough choice.
I am torn.
So I'm gonna make an argument I don't know if it's in favor of that the harp seal is worse. So the black bear does this sometimes, and what it does is clearly very bad. But the harp seal does this every time, and what it does is also clearly very bad.
That is true. The black bear, when it does have more than one, then it raises them well.
Right. So I'm leaning towards the harp seal.
That is true.
My argument for the black bear is the black bear is still a very conscious choice. Like the harp seal, they do it and it's terrible for them, but part of it is the survival instinct of for example, in 2 or 3 weeks, they get their pup up to 80 pounds from whatever it starts at, which I imagine is less than 80 pounds. That's probably not sustainable.
Right.
So I feel like if the harp seal kept feeding their kid, they would probably die.
Like the octopus?
Right, exactly.
Oh yeah, they could
it chooses not to be the octopus.
It chooses not to be the octopus, huh? That kind of puts a little hole in that little argument there.
I think this one's actually really tough. I think I'd probably still go harp seal though.
I'm leaning towards black bear.
Just the conscious nature of the black bear.
It is really callous. I know. I would if you guys would both go black bear. Wow, I can't talk. I would not fight you on it.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go black bear.
Black bear it is.
There it is. The finals are best mom, octopus. Literally dies to give their kid the best chance. Not even just to save them, but just to give them the best possible chance she can. And then the black bear, who consciously is just like the uber ambitious mother who apparently only will settle for half of a junior soccer team worth of cubs. And just murders anyone who is not up to her standards by being just a single bear. It could be a very good bear, but she doesn't care. It's gone. It's dead. There's a lot of murder for our Mother's Day theme episode.
Yeah,
I guess that's just the animal
good amount
kingdom.
of murder.
Even one of the best moms.
It probably would have sounded less murdery if David Attenborough was on our podcast.
Right.
But there you have it. And that brings us to our absolutely unrelated Would You Rather round. Chris, I'm going to start you off with this one.
I think actually...
Would you rather...
So, since we are running slightly long, I think we should all think about it briefly after you say the question, and then on the count of 3 say our answer, and then deliberate.
All right. Question. Would you rather be a mermaid or a centaur? All right. 3, 2, 1.
Centaur.
Ooh.
Who said mermaid?
I said mermaid.
Marcus said mermaid. We both said centaur.
And I'm going to count it as mermaid. It's not just for the boobies.
Okay, fair. Yeah, reasonable.
Guys, boobs, obviously. So, I think
I just don't want to be limited to the water.
I want to have the water. That's the appeal to me. Is I like the ocean a lot.
So my calculation is that I love running, and only one of these options not only enhances my running, but allows me to do it.
I feel like living in the ocean would just be so effortless, and there's just like so much ocean to explore. I want to know what's down there, man. I want to know what's at the bottom. It's gonna be lots of cool fish. Maybe one of them eats me. That would be so cool.
It's probably a lot of predators, though.
I mean, I don't think there's that many predators to a mer person-sized thing, especially if you have a cool spear like a trident. Ooh.
There's a lot of big things.
Yeah.
Plus, I can unironically carry a harpoon around.
That is a selling point. That is true.
I guess as a centaur, you could probably unironically carry around a longbow.
Oh, that's also true. Or like a spear, maybe? Which is basically a harpoon, but on land.
The land harpoon, as they call them.
Yes. The lampoon. Wait.
Does anything make this strictly better or worse than the other?
I mean, they're so different from each other.
They are very different from each other.
So I guess this one, I think this one's a true would you rather. I guess this one's just straight personal preference.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Look inside yourself and see if you see
Are you
a mermaid or a centaur, I guess.
But no matter which one you pick, you're going to have problems with ladders.
This is true. The great unifier. Ladders.
Actually, I don't know if you remember, Ben, but when we started our Dungeons & Dragons campaign, I specifically vetoed anyone picking the Centaur class because I didn't want to have to accidentally like have a situation where I put a ladder in as the only way to egress, and then people being like, I can't, I'm a Centaur.
Yeah.
And that'll bring us to the end of our episode. But before we go, re-announcement. We have launched our Patreon page. If you want to support our dumb brackets and our stupid answers and our really thought out answers to would you rather questions, join our Patreon. We have 3 different donation levels. We have for $1 a month. This is the you just want to support us and make us feel good about ourselves and just give a little bit to support us. So there's no
Buy
actual
something on the dollar menu. I don't know what's on the dollar menu these days.
Yeah, for every $1 Patreon, me and Chris will each eat one $1 menu item at the Burger King. Then, if you want to actually get some cool stuff, at the $3 a month tier, you go from hypothetical to hypotheticooler, and now what you have unlocked is you get to vote on how our show progresses from this point forward, where you get to vote on which questions we answer, you get to vote on different choices we make for the show's format, anything else that we can think of to put to a vote to our patrons. We will be doing so as frequently as possible, and you, for just $3 a month, get a vote. But, you know, hypotheticooler isn't enough for some people. If you want to be the hypotheticoolest, you can donate $5 a month, which gives you not only all the good voting rights, but also gives you access to our monthly behind-the-scenes special content, where we do an extra episode each month on the first Friday, where we go deep into how we produce the show, some of the questions that we rejected, what we actually think of each other's answer when we're not putting on a face for the show, and we can just really talk shit about the research that we've done for each other.
We have a free sample episode of that out right now, so you can listen to that if you want to figure out what that is all about.
Yeah, it should have come out. Last Friday on this same feed, so just check there.
Yeah, so if you are listening to one of our answers and we are just straight up wrong and you are fuming inside, there's a decent chance that either me, Ben, or Chris was also thinking the same thing, and you're gonna hear about it in the
sometimes all of us
in the Friday episode. So all your support means the world to us, so I'm gonna keep pushing the thing that makes us direct money. Join our Patreon. You are amazing, and I want to be your hypothetical pal. And if you don't feel like donating, and you just want more free, awesome, hypothetical action, just join us next week, where we answer the following question. What if all sports were in a swimming pool?